Let's see.
All
We're
right.
live,
Son,
right?
W.
Yeah. Samurai
What does it say?
Jack. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I didn't see that. It didn't say that we were. Oh, now it does. Okay, cool.
Samurai Jack episode XCVI. So 97, I think is the episode.
Yeah, I believe so.
Season 5, episode 6. What happened in the episode, Ibrahim?
All right, so this episode was it's just filled with a lot of little goodies, some fan service for longtime fans, and it was mostly centered on Ashi trying to find Jack. So we start with her on the aircraft of these creatures known as woolies. They were shown before, and she's just trying to locate Jack. And when they find out who she is, if I remember correctly, they attack her, thinking that she's trying to. She's still like the assassin that she's known for as being a daughter of Aku, and she has to make her escape. Um, Shortly after that, she meets these other guys. Uh, they're archers, and when she mentions Jack to them, they flash back to how Jack has affected them in the past, and we end up getting a string of uh, moments where Ashi's kind of going through different locations and meeting characters that have had encounters with Jack in the past. Those archers specifically, they were from the end of season 4, and she ends up being in this kind of rave party thing, and there's a bunch of people just kind of partying and dancing and whatnot, and she's joining in on the fun, but she doesn't completely lose her focus, and she leaves before like she just kind of gets, I guess, overindulged with that whole thing. And the DJ of the event was seen before. Andre, do you remember her name? You said it to me earlier.
Olivia.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we see Olivia. She doesn't seem that much older, but yeah, she continues on, and I believe the next thing after that,
She's
she
black, bro.
yeah, I was gonna
Yandy.
get
No, wait, wasn't she older? Because she was old in the episode. Like she was like an old lady.
Yeah.
yeah,
She looked
yeah.
her
I mean,
face.
yeah, but like she
She was
looks
like
good
15
for
back then.
she looks
Okay.
good for somebody who aged 50 years.
She's blackie, bro.
Okay.
Very simple.
No.
Yeah, yeah, black woman jeans. But yeah.
Okay.
So then the next scene, Ashi's in this area where she's looking down a gorge, and it immediately reminds her of her childhood, where we uncomfortably see a naked Ashi with her mother, and she's thrown down into this well of like, what was it, like lava or like blackness or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
molten lava or something.
yeah, and we learned that her skin is black because it's just been charred and burned into her, and that's not like a bodysuit. So Ashi hesitates and she jumps into the water, and we get a scene where she uses rocks to kind of shed that off of her. And this is like a transformation where she's just kind of getting it off of her, and then Ashi is now naked, and her skin is purified of all of that, and it's regular, like I guess peach or normal skin color, and she's naked, and she walks past the water, and she whips her hair around, and now she has this new hairdo. She has this kind of Tinkerbell looking leaf outfit, and she's just ready to go. So she then goes into this tavern, a tavern we've seen before also. So the memory and nostalgia trip continues as she goes into this tavern, and we see an aged samurai. Samurai was shown, I believe, in the first season as this kind of black funkadelic samurai guy who fought Jack with bamboo sticks. He's now much older, much weaker, much skinnier. He's no longer a fighter, seemingly, just a owner of this bar. And he's now voiced, trivia for you guys, by Keegan Michael Key.
No, really?
Um, yep, voiced by Keegan Michael Key. And she is whispering to the old man, whereas Samurai Jack, he's saying, "What?" And she's like, "Samurai Jack." He's like, "What? Speak up, woman." And then she ends up yelling his name so loud that she gathers the attention of every other character there, and we get a bunch of cameos from past characters and just kind of fodder robots and guys that Jack has bodied in the past, and they all kind of recount their experiences facing Jack and what Jack did to them. One guy, as of which a robot was being held together by band-aids. And then we get the appearance of Kevin Name, God damn it! I forgot again. It's the guy with the blue flames.
Oh, Demongo.
The Mongo, yeah, the Mongo. He gets the more highlighted and spotlighted.
I don't know how you forget that. It was 2 episodes of them throwing hands.
I keep forgetting his name. I don't know what it is, but yeah, the Mongo. He was particularly impressive. But yeah, he reappears too. And let me briefly backtrack to mention that the head of the robot from the first episode of season 5 was also in this episode, and he's trying to get onto this ship.
Scaramouche.
Got a moosh.
Yeah, the guy. By the way, I noticed like he seems like he's trying to do like an imitation of like a Rob Williams voice.
No, I
but-
think what it is I think it's Sam Davis Jr. That's like
Yeah, no.
he sounds like
I mean, Robert Williams is dead. Robin Williams is dead. But I'm saying like it seems like an imitation. Like remember the genie from
Scaramouche?
Scaramouche, yeah.
the robot. The one that was like,
think
"Hey,
it's Robin
babe."
Williams? No, I think it's Sammy Davis, man. Like it's almost definitely Sammy Davis.
Wait. Are you saying that's the voice he's trying to do?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Sammy Davis impression. That's how Sammy Davis Jr.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Give
He's like,
off
"Hey,
that.
babe, what's up, bro? Are you crazy cat?" Yeah, like,
okay,
he talks like that.
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's trying to get onto the boat, and the guard is just like not letting him because of certain things, like he has to have a body and everything, and he tries to get on a dog, and it doesn't work, and he eventually gets on the body of he's on a humanoid body, and he gets on the ship, and he basically once he's on, he detaches himself, and we see that it's like a really tiny head of a thing. And the guy walks off, and the robot remarks that his head looked like a penis. Something that my brother actually pointed that out literally like 6 seconds before
Oh my!
it was pointed out on the show. Like, he's like yeah, like his head looks like a penis, and then he says, "Yeah, his head looks like a penis."
Oh my!
But he's confronted by 3 dogs. Quick tidbit: they're all references of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. From left to right, the left dog looks like the gray dog from Two Stupid Dogs. It's a cartoon that Craig McCracken did. In the middle is one of the dogs, not the primary one, but one of the bulldogs from Tom and Jerry. And on the very far right is Astro, the dog of the Jetson family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to present time. Ashi is just kind of talking with these guys, and she kind of escapes from there. And she makes her way to finally finding Jack. And Jack is in this kind of spiritual graveyard, and Jack he's seen with a blade in front of him, and the position that he's in, if you know about like kind of Japanese folklore, you would know that is the position and pose and posture of a man who's about to commit seppuku and kill himself. That horse riding knight person that keeps her reappearing throughout the season is there, and he's kind of urging Jack to do it, and he's guilt tripping him of like all of the things that he's created and affected and whatnot. And Jack is seeming really ready to just kind of kill himself, and then the spirits coming out of other slain warriors from graves are huddling around Jack. One of them notices Ashi and says that she can witness, but she cannot proceed because it doesn't involve her. She eventually tries to stop it anyway, right before Jack kills himself. He's about to stab himself in the chest. Ashi starts getting beaten really badly. Jack protects her. He takes a sword, and Jack eventually comes to the decision that he will not kill himself. He fights them off, and he proclaims that him and Ashi are going to find his enchanted sword, and he tells Ashi that he likes her hair. And that's the episode.
All right. Andre, thoughts? Wrong.
I just let me go first.
Oh,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, Kevin.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Andre.
This episode was whack. I think what this episode proves that Ashi's not a good enough or strong enough character to carry her own episode.
Oh my.
So far, a lot of the playback, it just kind of felt like just padding in a sense to kind of just get more Ashi on Samurai Jack's side. Like she went to a rave, she went to a bar, she was finding just like a bunch of random scenes of her just learning about Jack's experience. What's his name? Scaramouche. his attempt to kind of warn Aku that Jack no longer has a sword. That was all right, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it funny. It was just like, like, what was the point of even showing that if he didn't succeed in even that mission? I don't understand the point of that scene. I do like the profanity that we used in this episode. Like, we had hell, damn, badass, and son of a bitch in this episode. I like the scene where he did call him look like a talking penis was funny. I ain't gonna lie. The episode really doesn't pick up for me until we get to see Samurai Jack. Even Ashi, like, her, like, scrubbing that black smoke off her skin is just like, I prefer the first design over the new design personally.
Yeah, I do. Except for her hair. Her hair looks good.
Them trying to get Jack to commit suicide. Okay, I understand it, but you know, I like the fact that Olivia kind of talked him out of it. Like, the kids were alive, like, because like the kids were the last straw for Jack. I think he killed them. So I like the fact that they used that to kind of get him back to, like, okay, I think it's time. But I think it's time for me to try to find the sword. Jack noticing her beauty, I think it's just setting up for them to be in a relationship. Overall, like I said, I thought this was going to start off with Jack going into some type of spiritual, physical journey to get the sword. But episode overall was just whack to me. I'm done.
So what's Eric gonna choose who goes next, or
You go ahead, Kev.
Is Wesley here?
Actually muted himself. Snap. This episode, man. First, I'm gonna talk about the flashbacks to the earlier seasons. That was not only. I did feel like it was definitely to get more on Jack's side, but at the same time, it was also. I feel like those characters might play an important part later on in some way. If not getting rid of Aku, maybe fighting a sword or something. I don't know, but I feel like I don't think getting it would just show them just for no reason. This is the kind of episode that if you're the kind of person who did not watch the previous episodes, like, you won't really like the samurai, that dude.
Mm-hmm.
His episode is like legendary. Like, go on YouTube and stuff. Very memorable episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think it's not just like a nostalgia thing. It's more of like,
No, it was really good.
He's trying to. Yeah, no, I'm saying like these the characters that were shown are going to be important. I feel later on in the future. Scaramouche, he's going to come back. He's going to affect the story in some way. I don't think Gendy's going to bring him back just for no reason. He's not being shown for no reason. Even though he failed in telling Aku that Jack doesn't have his sword. In some way, shape, or form, since he's being shown, because villains don't really get shown. I think the one person who Jack went against that was really shown after that, like a little bit consistently, was the Scotsman. Because at some point, him and Jack used to settle, so Scaramouche is going to be important. The ending, I know. Let me talk about Ashi and her like body change. I think that's an important signification because like the black represents the evil and she washed it off, whatever. Like symbols. But I think it's gonna give us. I think Gendy's telling us he's gonna tell us kind of more about Aku's whatever that lady is, because from what I'm guessing, from what I know, that the mother.
She's a lover.
Ashi. Yeah, that's Aku's lover. I was gonna say he was Aku's wife. I don't know what the fuck you call it, but we're gonna get a little bit more insight into that. At the ending, I was hoping that the armored dude was gonna be somebody who was gonna help Jack, find his sword. But I was right about the trial thing. Like he said, Jack has failed the trial, and whatever continues to be a detriment to those around him. And that. And let me say one last thing about the nostalgia characters. I think that this also shows that how big. I think that when Aku took over, he kind of made the world like much, much bigger, because it's been 50 years and Jack hadn't seen those people he's seen over what the first 52 episodes. He hasn't seen them again. So I think it's showing that it's really large.
The scope of like how much he's affected.
Yeah, not just the scope. I'm just saying like
No, he's saying
the fact
geographically.
geographically wise, like it's a large place because it's been 50 years and he's been going around. So like I'd assume at some point he'd meet him, but he hasn't. So the ending, I was kind of, I don't want to say disappointed, but I was hoping that it'd be a little bit more stretched out. But given the time that they have, it was very good. Actually, pretty much telling him, okay, stop whining and be a bitch, nigga. Pull yourself back up. Those other 4 people that was sitting around around Jack, besides the armored guy, I have to remember. Did anything happen to them, or did they all just disappear?
What in this episode?
Yeah, in this episode.
You're talking about the people in the bar?
No, I'm talking about the people surrounding Jack besides the armored nigga.
I think they were statues, right?
They faded right back into their graves.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, they weren't statues.
Yeah, they were suppressed.
But I really like the comedy in this episode, the Scaramouche stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. It was funny. Like even him trying to get into the boat was very funny. Like no dog, no. And then when he said, "Oh, there's a new number 1," that's also foreshadowing because I feel like the new number 1 guy. I don't remember his name, but Scaramouche is not number 3. There's a new number 1. He's probably going to be the one chasing after Jack. I think they said there were some new bounty hunters coming after Jack. That might be the ones from the next episode. From here on out, I feel like the way it's setting up, Jack and Ashi are going to be in a relationship, and it's going to get really rough. Like I feel like she might get killed off, maybe, because she's not strong enough to be around Jack.
I mean, she's pretty strong, but
yeah.
She seems weaker now that she's on the good side too.
Yeah, I think she fights less aggressive. She has to get that. You saw how.
I mean,
Jack was
why? Because she got caught this episode by the.
No, I think it's because
she hasn't fought that much, has she?
No, I don't think it's about.
No, but you saw how she was throwing hands with Jack, right? We're saying she doesn't do it to that level anymore. Like she's not on that level.
Like we haven't seen her fight though. Is what I'm saying. Very much.
That's true.
She got
I mean, she's been trading since birth.
Yeah, and I mean, she beat that one guy, the torture guy, pretty easily.
But overall, I really like the samurai comeback, the Demongo stuff. I think those are like some of my memorable episodes. And I remember the episode where Jack was in the.
Well, I want to say
in the party place. I'm just gonna finish this right here.
Okay.
In the party thing, he had that's the first time I saw him like wear something besides his regular garb. He was wearing like a little binky in his mouth and this like orange jumpsuit, and he had this. That's one of my most memorable episodes because when I saw it, I was like, wait, and yeah, I'm done.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is my second favorite episode of the season.
Wait. Can I go before you since you're gonna say something positive? Because I'm gonna say something negative about the episode. So you can bring it back. I just want to get. I'll be really brief. This was a good episode. I think it was probably the weakest out of all the episodes, in my opinion. To completely disagree with what Ibu just said. And there are two or three main reasons why that Andre touched upon a little bit. First, I don't necessarily agree that Ashi's too weak to carry the episode. I just think the way this was handled was, first of all, the first half to me was like very like I get what they were doing where they're just like it was like very cursory, sort of like lazy, nostalgic, like nods to everything. Like you can do that in the series and just keep referencing older stuff, but like that's all it was. Like it wasn't exactly a strong narrative like through line for how they like dovetailed it into the episode. It was just like, let's go to this episode, let's go to that episode. Remember this one, remember that one, like, and it was just her traveling to another place, like this guy, that guy, that guy. Like it didn't really feel. It felt too overt with what they were doing. It was like a shameless nostalgia, like marathon, one after the other. And I felt like that could have been done a little bit more subtly so that it didn't feel like they were just like, hey, people like this episode, people like that episode, people like this character. Nostalgia, like it was literally just them saying nostalgia basically at you with the writing. And the second part, one of the best parts of this was the Aishi waterfall scene. I think we all agree on that. That was like the best part of the episode. But
It isn't for me, but okay.
It was for me. But I her new design, it's all right. I don't like it as much as the original one, but I think I liked the twist because none of us predicted that he was going to commit seppuku, and that's a very like samurai thing to do. And yeah, it was really cool how that like he brought in like that traditional
seppuku thing.
Of being a samurai. That was really interesting. And that it was, he was going to kill himself. It wasn't that anyone was going to like hurt him or that he was going to just die normally. But in the second half, it was a little too quick and predictable exactly where it was going. Like the whole plot of Aishi, like it was exactly what Andre said. Like Andre called it literally complete. And I was like, I hope they don't do that. Because I feel like there's no way they can do that. With Aishi like searching around, talking to all the old characters from episodes.
Yeah, we all
Jack. Well, Andre was the first one who mentioned it. Yeah, he's just been saying that over and over. And I hope that didn't happen because I was like, either that's going to take up too many episodes of just like nostalgic and like retreading old ground, or it's going to happen in this really, really rushed sort of way. And it was the latter. It was like really rushed. And it just felt like very like the way she saved him felt a little like, it felt too quick to me. He barely knows her, and then she's the one who brings him around kind of a little bit just by saying the words. You didn't kill the kid.
There was that short lady that directed her.
Yeah, but it was the way she found him.
And even she was
not the way she found him. The way she saved Jack, like his spirit from like falling.
Oh
yeah.
It
was very quick. It was like.
Oh, and The Rock will also say that I only like thick women, so I'm not really sure about that.
Hey man. To each his own, but this episode, it didn't have a lot of parts that I was just like loving or anything. Like the animation was nice as usual, like, but the directing and the writing felt a little thin to me, and the fact that Aishi cared so much about like saving Jack, like they kind of just started to form that bond. And she just started to trust him.
But then again, Jack is a person who spurred a personality and character change within her and made her like.
Yeah, no, I understand that she feels like she feels that kind of like.
It makes sense for her to be.
I understand that she wants to rescue him like he rescued her. I understand that, but how quickly she could do it and the length she was going to do it, it was a little. It just felt.
We don't know how much time elapsed in story.
But the thing is, they didn't spend that much time together.
Actually, you don't know that because they spent. I mean, implied it was days they spent together.
A couple days, and like sacrificing.
But then again, Jack's only spent one or more days with a lot of these characters that he's impacted, and they never forgot him. Like it's not about the amount of time. It's about like the contents and quality of how Jack really touches these people, and that's kind of the point. Like. A lot of these characters that were Ashley was encountering, they said they haven't seen Jack in 50 years. Ashley was asking someone like when was the last time did you see him again? And they're like, nah, I haven't seen Jack in this amount of time. And it's just it's how impactful he is to the world around him, and it showcases itself as she travels around the place and sees these characters. And it shows with her herself. So. I get
that. But I agree with you on the ending and how it was a little bit rushed. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I get that. But the thing is, it just on an emotional, like the impact and on a narrative level, the way it was done, like it would have been better to see Aishi, is that her name? Aishi and Jack to form a little bit of a stronger bond for this moment to have like a stronger impact when she rescues him and and the turnaround he makes. Because like she really is someone who doesn't have that deep of a connection. Like if anything, this episode shows that she's one of millions of people that he rescued. So the fact that like she snaps him out of it, like it just.
Well, you gotta remember, like, it's not what she means to Jack; it's what Jack means to her. And since we're following it through her lens.
Yeah, but he was at a point where he was about to kill himself.
All right.
So for him to like easily just snap out of that because she says like, oh yeah, by the way, you didn't kill those kids. And he's like, okay, now I'm fine. Now I'm totally, not only am I fine, now I'm ready to go get the sword. Like it was such a turnaround, like immediately.
Oh, it didn't come off that way to me, but go ahead.
It did to me, but that's all I have to say. Like it was a little. They got to get from point A to point B, and this felt very like it felt a lot like a lazy transition to in between what they're trying, like the story beats they're trying to hit overall in the season. It felt a little bit. It wasn't a bad episode, but it wasn't up to the quality that I expect from this series. It felt a little bit subpar based on everything else, every other episode so far. to me. But that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, it probably is the weakest one out of the last. Yeah, that's the weakest one.
On you,
I mean, that's fine though.
I strongly disagree, but
Okay.
I lost the passion to give my thoughts.
No, now I want to hear you change my mind. I want you to change my mind with all the stuff you're about to say.
You should have let me go then before you, because I had everything lined up, and it's just like screw it.
Debate me, man. Debate me. Debunk everything I just said.
He can't debunk.
You can't. That's what it kind of shows.
Yeah.
Wait, what were your points again? I might be able to get to
So here's
the only thing I agree with you on is
I am giving my thoughts on the episode.
I thought you were done, Kumbo. Go ahead.
I didn't start. How could I
go ahead?
What do you think, bro?
Yeah, so I thought this episode was definitely not only stronger than the last two, it was stronger than the first. And I like it's my second favorite. So what? Excuse me?
Nothing. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Strike one. Yeah. So I really enjoyed this episode. This was this basically journey through the world that Jack has already treaded through Ashley's perspective and see how it changed. And it's one of those things where it's like it's like how do we do a clip show but also accomplish something with the current character and then progress the story. And it's almost like the first half in terms of actual progression is somewhat minimal, but what we're getting is we're catching up with the past characters, and it's not. It wasn't like so overtly like.
Yeah. It's an impetus for her character development as well, right? Like as we're seeing those.
It wasn't to me. It wasn't like an overt like. Oh, let's just throw a bunch of past characters because it is subtle because it's one of those things where like a lot of these characters would fly over most people's heads.
Yeah, they flew over my head since I haven't seen it in a long time. I was like, who are all of these characters?
Which is why because it's like that. It's not like it wasn't like you're getting narration or like this like just throwing in your face like this character did this on this episode and that's why we're showing him. It was just like these people are appearing and if you notice, you notice. If you don't, you don't.
The thing is though, watching that and not having recapped the episode.
But Ibrahim, the ones that were pointed out, they were main like important.
Can I finish?
No. I just wanted to say this though, like watching this after not having re-marathon Samurai Jack recently, right before the season, it was very like alienating to see that because you could tell they were referencing all these specific episodes that I just vaguely remember.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to do homework to like watch the show. Like so it felt very.
You shouldn't watch the past episodes of a show to watch.
No, it's episodic. It's pretty.
Except not for the most part. Plus, there's multiple episodes that are 2-parter or 3-parter.
JoJo's episodic.
No, I'm just saying there's a way to do it where it could have just felt not exactly like they were.
It seems like you're penalizing the show for including content that you don't immediately catch.
I'm sensing some contradictions right now.
Yeah, it's okay. It was a little too self-referential to me. Like it didn't feel like a natural thing. Like they didn't feel like just random villagers that it's clear they're referring to like all the other episodes.
Except there's been references in past episodes in this very season though.
But they're more subtle. That's what I was saying. Like they were way more subtle. Like
the Scotsman is less subtle than this one. This is more subtle because the fact like they're flying over your head because they're not shoving it to you.
Scotsman was a rival.
Yeah, and not only is that fair enough, like what you're literally saying is, oh my, like I'm not saying like it's your fault, like I'm not blaming you, but what I'm saying is, like you're pretty much penalizing the episode because you don't remember these characters and therefore it doesn't affect you the same way because you don't remember them. And what I'm telling you is,
could I say something?
Oh, but it's episode.
Can I give my thoughts?
I'm talking. No, I'm talking.
Right,
listen, so thank you. So what I'm saying is, like, you can't like get mad at that and then go, well, but like how the show is, like, you can't just do that. Like, here's the thing. So what I'm trying to say is, the first half was kind of like a journey through the world from Ashi's perspective, seeing these characters. I personally enjoyed the they reanimated scenes from past episodes where you saw old like Jack's oldest sign. We never brought that up, but like there were scenes where it's like it's showing older episode like moments, but like they reanimated it. Like you're seeing Jack fight these characters and stuff. That was really cool. The comedy with that guy was cool. The robot dude.
Scaramouche.
Yeah, Scaramouche.
The number threes.
That's funny.
She's the number three best assassin.
This is a very like tidbit slash trivia uh a junkie episode where it's like those type of people would really have a field day with this episode, and it seems like it's intentionally that way.
It is.
Yeah, it's like that, and
this was for people who really like cartoons and Samurai Jack. And
yeah, like there's a lot of like references to the series itself and other series and things like connected to Gendy's other works and things like that. But again, it's done so in a way where it's like if you don't catch it, it really doesn't matter. Like it's you're the point you still get the point, and the primary point is Ashi's going through these places and doing that, and it's meant to be for her character. There was some kind of the rave scenes and things like that. Like the purpose of those are just like she's experiencing other like the scene where she's at the rave and she's dancing and everything.
Yeah,
like yeah, she's experiencing other. She's experiencing like other aspects of like human life and stuff, so that's just fine.
Yeah, but okay. I just like that. That was fine. See, stuff like that though. It's like how JoJo's like you know how JoJo's does it, where they sort of reintroduce the idea, or they tell you just the overall scheme of it. Like when Jotaro explains to Josuke, he's like, "Oh, I fought a man named Dio in Egypt. We fought a battle for the
but guess what,
world."
Guess what, Wesley? But you know what that does? What that does, then that's what you were accusing me of doing. You that would be literally, we're just gonna throw this nostalgia at you and we're gonna remind you, but it's not.
No. No, it's different. It's handled differently because it's just introduced to you at like you could have never seen part one, and it doesn't feel like you're missing out on a whole chunk of like stories. Like they just explain it to you.
You like a lot of people decided to watch this by itself and just watch it like that because of like
you don't have to.
They could.
Yeah, it's not your fault. No, I've seen all the episodes of Samurai Jack. I've seen all of them. I just haven't seen them recently.
Said you did, but what I'm trying.
But no, let me explain what I'm saying.
I'm still getting my thoughts on that.
But I'm saying in that way, like when you see old Joseph in part 4 of JoJo's, he's reintroduced as Josuke's father. Like you don't need to understand anything about part 2 or his character. He's reintroduced in the context of that series. This episode, to me, all these characters didn't feel reintroduced in the context of this season. They were literally just references. Like I don't know why that girl was like a DJ and stuff. Like, and it's not really explained to you at all. Like it's just there.
It doesn't. But that's what I'm saying. It's so subtle that it doesn't matter. She's just going through these places and you're seeing these characters. If you can just not think about something that's random that you're seeing, I guess, but it doesn't work that way. Like when it's confusing. It's momentarily like what? No, because Wesley, literally, if I never told you, or like you just never like was like called to your attention that was a character that appeared from before.
Oh no, it's obvious. I don't remember the. I'm telling you.
Can I finish my sentence? I've been interrupted 20 times. Go ahead. I'm literally keeping tally marks in front of a paper. I'm not joking. I've been interrupted 20 times giving the thoughts of my Jesus Christ. God.
What's the discussion?
What I was trying to say was if it wasn't called to your attention that this character's a pastor, like any viewer would just say, all right, she's just at a random rave, it's a Samurai Jack scene, and then she's moving on. Because there's been stuff like that before. For all we know, what if, like, for example, what was it, the last episode, when we were seeing these random just people in that city, like, what if they were past characters? Like, it doesn't really matter in that way, because the way they're being thrown at you is one of those things where if you catch it, it's a cool moment. It's like a little nugget in your head, like, oh, that's an Easter egg. But if you don't, it doesn't affect the plot in that way. So you're talking about reintroducing, but like Kevin was talking about earlier, how like he thinks all these past characters are going to play a part. I don't think so. I think literally what it was Ashi re-experiencing people who were affected by Jack, and it's for her character and for the fans of the series who remember these people. It's an actual Easter egg, and it's like a gratuitous, like, yay, like, oh, hey, that's what this guy's up to, that's what that guy's up to. It's not a reintroduction because the reintroduction isn't necessarily necessary. Anyway, Jesus Christ. So the scene where she's wiping herself off and she's going into the water and all that was a very enjoyable scene.
Oh yeah. How old is Ashi? I'm guessing she's like younger than Jack, right, or around his age, like probably in her early 20s.
I would assume like 20, but
Yeah.
She's 6
Is she
episodes
though?
old.
I assume she's like no younger than
Bro,
19.
you guys just weirdos.
no, I trust
She's also
Gendy, but I trust Gendy.
she's also a cartoon character, so it's just weird in general. So like let's not dive into
Hey,
it.
I just said it was an enjoyable scene for the music, the character moment, the drama. You guys made it,
Drama?
Anyway, yeah, the dramaticness of the scene, the character changes about.
Yo, can you hear me?
To be honest, it was like really well, like visually well directed. I thought.
It was.
I really liked the framing of it. Yeah.
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 Just everything about her walking in, and then the waterfall comes to cover her, and everything.
Yeah.
It was well set up.
It was a metaphoric scene. Like it was meant to represent her change. And water in a lot of movies is used to represent change in a character.
Very true. Very true. So yeah, and then so we go to the second half. The stuff with her in that tavern stuff was all right. What's his name? Sam Murai was really funny in this episode. The voice acting work made it really funny. Like his voice was just like funny. He's like, "What the hell are you talking about, man?"
I knew I heard that voice before.
The reanimated scene of Samurai versus
I'm the Samurai.
Mm-hmm. The reanimated scene was cool. And then the strongest part of the episode to me was the very end. I personally didn't have any issue with like this being so quick. This episode, in a weird way, felt like a One Piece chapter. I'd elaborate if you guys cared to know, but it just felt like a One Piece chapter in like some of the things that it does and like how it ends. But now the last scene was really cool. I enjoyed the designs of the characters. I like the designs of the guys that were huddled around Jack.
I was just like
a
couple of them I've seen before. Cause you know the one dude with the horns and the little he had the little hazard mask thing with the little mouth. Like, I remember him.
He looks like a Hun from Mulan, but yeah. So I thought the ending was really exciting.
It ended with a dome, like a One Piece chapter, definitely.
Yeah, the One Piece dome, like the doom. Yeah, like that. Dun dun dun, and again, start back, and it says to be continued. So for me, this is my second favorite, and I think it's like objectively probably the third best episode we've gotten so far. There's a lot of little things to just kind of look at.
It's probably the worst one.
All right,
I can just respect that opinion and just say why I feel the way I feel, but it's definitely not bad. I don't think it was a bad episode at all. But
no, hell no. It's like being a 9.5 and a bunch of 10s.
Yo,
Eva, could you hurry up?
Well, Judge, Jury, Executioner Kevin came in with his opinion.
Right, yeah. But,
I mean, Rock.
Basu has patiently waited.
Yeah. Listen.
I've been waiting to give my opinion.
Yeah.
Let Young Yang, who was here, Ibrahim finish.
I like the episode. Go ahead, Bob. Jeez.
I just wanted to say my thoughts on those moments that you guys were talking about, because I think I'm like half and half in between Wesley's opinion and Ibrahim's. Like, it's not just a reintroduction, so I agree. Like, I can understand how like you feel alienated from like the experience, because it basically for me, it feels like he's just trying to motivate people to go back and rewatch the old episodes. But at the same time, I mean, this adds like this episode added character development for Jack, because you get to see how people who encountered Jack, how they feel. So you get introspection from looking at them, how they were affected, how they like perceived him as a man and all that.
Yeah.
But it's like, but I think also like that moment you guys were talking about, you thought it was underwhelming, right, Wesley?
Which moment?
The moment with what's the name of that guy? What's the name of that guy? The guy with the samurai helmet that's green and he has the
he said he thought it went too quick.
Yeah.
I think it went too quick, but I didn't feel anything I didn't feel any emotion from it. But that's a big as hell. That's a moment that's been developed. Like we've been waiting on that for like 5-6 episodes. How like 5 episodes. We've been waiting for that shit 5 episodes.
I don't think we're done with him though.
And he just got healed like in 2 seconds. And I think there's no problem with Ashi. It's just The fact like he just flipped in 2 seconds, 360 from something so little. I didn't think it was a big enough change for him.
All right, Young. Save the best for last.
I don't think this episode was that good. I didn't enjoy it. It was pretty whack, to be honest. And I don't want to hear the excuse that I didn't see the previous episodes, because though you can make the case that it's up to you to watch the previous episodes, this is a pretty episodic series. So this episode is whack. I didn't like it. It just felt like they were shoving all these old characters in my face. You could show Jack what he has done to help these people in a different way, in a less rush way, instead of exploring all this whole Jack world. I didn't like the stuff with Ashi and that whole. There was a mini flashback with her, like how she got burned or whatever as a child. I didn't like that because it shows her like, instead of this heartless little person that, like, it's trying to make me like, I like Ashi turning from a heartless, like, closed-minded individual into the person that Jack made her. I like that idea of her, but instead giving me like a reason to feel like, not like sorry for her, but like showing that there was like goodness in her this whole time. Like, if you saw like the way she acted when she was being like that, when she was being burned like that, I kind of didn't like that. It was trying to make me see that Ashi was always kind of a little good and stuff.
It always did that though. Even in episode 1, it was showing she was like getting distracted by stuff and that kind of thing. It's been doing that all season.
Did you not like it because you like it better for the story that Jack is the one who completely like inspired her to change, or is it because you like the idea of what was I gonna say? Oh, you just like the idea that Jack was the one who made her change?
Basically.
Okay.
But Jack, I think what I would say that is, I think Jack still is the one who made her change. What it shows is just that she's just a child who wants to be a child, and throughout her experiences as a child, she was being kind of wired.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you like?
Here's the thing though, like, children, just, it's human nature. Like, a ladybug flies by you, you're inquisitive about things and that kind of stuff. So what I'm saying is, we've seen throughout the episodes that we've seen throughout the episodes that she's been hardwired and being into her to become a certain way, and that's why she's like so like hardline, kill samurai, do this, do that. So it doesn't change anything about like what you want her to be, this person who was changed by Jack, because she
just to me.
Yeah. All right, Young, go ahead.
I think it's more subjective because I could see not liking it also because like she's a heartless assassin, and now they're like humanizing her a lot, so they're trying to make you go like, oh, she was never that bad. Yeah, like she was never that bad. Like, oh,
do you remember our older reviews though, where like I was saying like clearly like that main Jack assassin I remember we were saying this like before, like she got humanized, like that clearly like she like looking at her like looking at a deer and things like that. Like she was looking at deer mating, and
I saw it coming a mile away. Yeah, I don't have fun. I'm just trying to understand the complaint. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. That's all. I'm just trying to make sure I know what he's saying.
I see, good brother.
Also, I don't like her new look. She needs some clothing. I don't like looking like Tarzan and stuff.
She looks too much like a slut for you.
Yeah.
I think her face kind of looks like
better.
A little bit stupid. No, I think it looks goofy.
No.
At times that
in
like
general,
it makes her look cross-eyed and goofy.
Yeah. Oh my!
It does.
Cross-eyed girls are attractive, man.
This is a campus review.
I mean, I got a picture. She looks straight up cross-eyed.
I don't like.
That's just the art itself. I think.
Yeah.
I don't like.
She wasn't looking like that beforehand.
I felt like her design felt like it had a better like parallel to like Samurai Jack's design in this season, like the way she was dressed before, and now this Tarzan thing, it just feels like it just doesn't sync up as much with him for me. Like,
I feel like
I think next episode we'll get some changes to the outfit.
Hopefully, at least wear like a little ninja thing with the fishnets or something, like something that's more like looks more like fits with the theme of like being a samurai.
To be honest, I don't think she'll stick with this too long. I think she's gonna change again, or
Maybe.
Jack is gonna change his. So yeah.
Also, I agree with Andre that I don't think Ashi can carry an episode. Maybe that's because I don't know. She doesn't seem that interesting. Well, she is interesting, but she doesn't seem strong enough as a character to me to carry a whole episode by herself. Because it was kind of boring, to be honest. Also, I like the parts with what was the name, Scaramouche.
Yeah.
Scaramouche. I thought it was funny. Yeah. This episode was wax sauce.
Yo, Young has a smile on his face right now. Just to let everybody know. He always like sprinkles in a little bit of his like youngness, semi-trolling while he's giving his thoughts.
Episode was wax sauce. I hope we get better content next week, but it's all good because just look to Thursday. We got a good one.
I was just about to say. Young right now is paying me back for negative One Piece chapter reviews. I don't know if y'all peep. I don't know if y'all peep.
Speaking of the,
just understand the Rock is the #1 One Piece fan.
I just felt like
you niggas should know.
Had they like focused
One Piece.
Had they focused?
Andre's trying to.
I don't understand how Evil compared this to One Piece.
All right, what are you gonna say, Andre?
I never compared
it.
I said this episode's like a One Piece chapter, and I like this episode.
All right.
After Andre says what he wanted to say,
let Andre speak.
And in terms of like Ashi not being a strong enough character to cover an entire episode, I feel like had the Scotsman had his own dedicated episode, it could have carried a lot stronger. Given the fact that there's a connection between them since he's been in past seasons and he's had that kind of lasting.
The Scotsman already did something like that for Jack.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Scotsman saved Jack in a 2-part episode in season 4.
My point is, I think like something like that. Like, had she been longer into the series, had she not just shown up in this season, had she maybe like been a season 4 character, it could have been helped. It would have worked with her being able to carry an episode by herself.
But I don't think it was them trying to get her to carry it. I just think they wanted to just humanize her. Like,
yeah, I'm fine with that.
About her.
It's a character focused episode.
But if what you're saying is factual, if she came like, let's say like 10 episodes ago or something, and she was getting characterization before that, like Scotsman, well, we having a different conversation. But
I don't know. I don't think
I have no issue with an Ashi centric episode.
Yeah. I don't think you need 100 like episodes. Like, I don't think she needs to be nostalgic to people for her to be like an entertaining character. I just think her traits.
She needs character.
Well, let me finish the sentence, please. I think all her traits are related directly to Jack, and she hasn't really like completely become her own character. So I think that's probably the issue. Like, everything she does is just kind of like related to Jack. So when Jack's not there, like she kind of loses the personality that she had. Because I thought when she was arguing with Jack and when they were interacting, she had a lot of personality. But when it's just her,
I was gonna say to that was I think that's kind of the point where it's like she's now this kind of vulnerable on her own, and she's becoming someone who's growing into her own in front of the audience. I think that's the purpose.
I didn't see her personality coming out in this episode.
No, like I said, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're throwing in this person now who like Jack was the crutch for her to be something, and it's like
I think I'm gonna use a Tumblr word and say that it's a little bit problematic for her to be written that way. It's a little bit.
Well, she's a counter. She's like but like.
She's the only female character.
Or a contrast, but
she can't carry the episode without the man there. It's like it's a little problematic for her to be kind of.
I didn't think she couldn't carry an episode. That was my opinion. But
my point was just like I think that could help just mine. I think.
Who, Scotsman?
No, like had like there been like more of longevity of a connection with the viewers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of you people are just watching this one season and saying there's no need for a past episode. So what connection are you talking about?
Yeah, because you told me it was episodic, and then in this review talking about it's kind of episodic. So
I said from the beginning. I said from the beginning that like it's a mix of both because there's episodic content, but then there's.
The thing is,
can I finish what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna let you tell lies on this review.
No, can I finish what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Samurai Jack seasons 1 through 4 is done in a way where there's reoccurring elements and characters, and it's mostly episodic. But then you'll get those multi-part episodes. Someone's echoing, but you'll get like for example, season 4. There's a story arc mid-season where Jack is gone and the Scotsman is going on an adventure to save him, and it takes a couple episodes to do it. So it's not like it's just like we're gonna be back to the same point like at the end like always. It's like Jack is kind of meeting people and having events with these people and moving on, and some of them will reoccur, some elements will reoccur, some characters will reoccur, and then some stories are continuous. So
yeah. For that example you just said, so how many episodes with that Scotsman storyline?
It was two to three parts.
So 3 episodes. 2 episodes?
2 to 3 episodes from what I remember.
3 episodes out of 56, 57?
No,
I'm just giving you an example.
So I need to, because you're saying sometimes.
There are multiple.
There's a couple like multi-part episodes
or episodes like kind of episodic.
Well, the thing, like Andre, like I'm saying, so the story was written in a way where it's like you don't want to do or like you don't want to do too much where it's like you can't like just watch an episode alone and enjoy it. So then you have a lot of these kind of self-contained episodes, but the thing is, it's all Jack's continuous journey throughout the world that he's trying to save, right? However, so that's why a lot of episodes are episodic in nature, but that doesn't mean that he's not in a continuous journey. So because
go ahead.
Yeah, so because he's in a continuous journey, things will be affected, and there are consequences to things that he does, and you see those eventually. And there are multi-part episodes where like there's a continuous thing going on within episodes. Like this has happened before. There's 4 seasons of this. It's not like 4 straight seasons of Monster of the Week kind of like situations.
All right, man. I'm just happy that we're finally getting into some plot progression. Finally, now we're getting into the sword stuff. You know, I think he's going to get a sword obviously next week. So now we got some finally story progression that I've been waiting for.
Okay, hold on. Let me go right. I don't know why it just fades in and out. I was gonna say, to me, something that's episodic is like it's self-contained and the effects aren't really seen. I can't say that with Jack because with Jack it's different. The voice actor of Aku ended up dying, and I guess
no, it's mostly episode. I mean, The Simpsons is episodic.
Wesley, I was not done.
Well, what you're saying is untrue. I'm trying to make sure you don't.
Okay, it's like 65%. I'm agreeing with you, Kevin. Calm down.
Hold on. I'm just repeating Wesley what I was saying. I'm saying to me, I didn't say at the fact. So get your facts straight right there, Wesley.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
It is a fact though. Like,
don't talk like that to the leader of this coalition.
Hey, The Rock talks to anyone how he wants.
All right, get your point out, please.
My whole point is, to me, Jack isn't really all that episodic because you're going to see the effect down the line. So it's not like it just happened and it's forgotten.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna have to watch the first episode.
Yeah, there's not a lot of carryover. The thing is, episodic doesn't.
The first 3 episodes have the most carryover. But I was gonna also point out that like just because it's episodic, like for example, like there'll be an episode where like at the end of the episode, Jack has made it to this new city, and then the next episode starts, he's in the new city. So it's not like
what I'm saying. I'm not saying from episode to episode. I'm talking about in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Like point A, you start off with little boy Jack. He gets his parents get attacked, blah blah blah. He gets into the future, and every single time he's looking for new portals to get out of there to go beat Aku. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that reason it's not continuous. I'm saying like the effects. Let's say the stuff we saw with all the people that came back now. I'm saying down the line you're gonna see it, but it's not.
It's not like the world is unaffected. But
yeah, it's not unaffected. It's not like an episode.
There is consequence to events.
Like let's say there's an episode where Jerry gets killed off.
I know exactly what Kevin means. Like where like those like cartoons that like reset itself basically the next episode.
Yeah, it's not like that. But that's what I would think.
It's not
episodic series.
It's not completely episodic.
The reason Jack ended up being episodic was because Aku's voice actor died. That's why.
No. That's actually not true because Aku's voice actor died after season 4 ended, so it's not that. But no, like what I'll ask Wesley is like, how could something be complete?
I do remember them saying that they were gonna try to finish the series, but a couple of things happened.
Okay. Well,
sure. But my question to Wesley is, how could something be completely episodic if there's multiple multi-part episodes that are continuous?
Because
that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, King of the Hill. Wait, no. Wait, let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. All right, would you consider like King of the Hill episodic? Would you consider The Simpsons episodic? Because well, I'm just saying. Well, just in general, everybody, because like all those
Simpsons, 100%.
Family Guy. The Simpsons has multi-part episodes that have elements that carry over. Like it does.
Not even just
except no. Well, here's the thing. Here's the difference. Simpsons is a slice of life with no overarching plot.
Why using terms for?
I don't.
Slice of life isn't an anime specific description, Young. It's actually for literature.
I don't know what the genre has to do with it not being episodic to episodic. Like,
well, but that's what I'm saying. Because think about that.
Genre
if something has no overarching plot, like The Simpsons, right? So it's no overarching plot, plus it's a slice of life, and then you just have episodes where it's literally just scenarios, and then the scenarios end up being inconsequential overall to the story. Like, for example, like
Samurai Jack is not that, like, the plot doesn't progress that much. It's
okay,
a concept.
let me
I never denied progression. We established how much progression. Look, in our first review, we
like me the video for the first review.
Yeah, no, the first review we
contradiction right now.
No. Listen. I was gonna say we made it clear in the first review. We're not arguing progression because we already made the verdict in the first review that little to no progression from a technical standpoint in terms of what he's trying to accomplish has been made. But progression, I think you're confusing progression with actual like how the narrative is structured. So like, yes, Jack is the first seasons are set up in a way where like he doesn't get that much done in terms of what he's trying to do, but he is going through the places and it is a continuous story ongoing like that.
Is time progressing consistently? Wait.
Yes.
So like years passed in the first like couple seasons or like months or something? Time is consistently passing.
Yes, time is consistently passing.
Wesley,
yes, 100.
That was a genuine question. That was.
Yeah, 100%.
No, an event that has happened. It's not like it wasn't there. You're going to feel. You're not going to feel the after effects maybe 4 seasons later, but it's not like it never happened.
Actually, now that I think about it, may have been at least a year because like the Scotsman in season 1 compared to season 4, like you'll see him now like he has like a new house and all like time is passing.
Everything is affected.
How much time to pass in the season 1 to season 4?
I can't answer that question because it would be me guessing. I could make an inference based on some events, but I won't do that.
Overall, it's probably like
I heard it was like only a few months.
Yeah, it's not that much.
What's so funny about that, Andre?
I think time's passing like that in The Simpsons and King of the Hill and like.
No, Wesley. Like no, because The Simpsons and a lot of those shows are in what they call a floating timeline, and Samurai Jack isn't in the floating timeline.
I'm aware, but I know as someone who's seen like all those seasons, there's a progression of time clearly because there's certain characters they grew older, but the thing is,
nobody ages in The Simpsons.
Nobody ages in Samurai Jack until the season.
Listen.
It was a couple of months though. It was a couple of months.
I used to be an avid Simpsons watcher. Exactly. So what I'm saying is like there are select episodes. Can I finish?
Nobody ages in the Simpsons.
Can I finish?
I'm gonna call out multiple
I know you're gonna. I know you're gonna. you doing? You're gonna whip out. It's a plot hole, bro. The Simpsons has plot
multiple
holes.
birthday episodes, bro. The Michael Jackson one? Come on.
Bro, can I finish? Yeah, the Simpsons has plot holes because they did that in Fairly Odd Parents too. Like it's a floating timeline, but then it'll be like Happy Birthday Timmy. I'm like, yo, wait, what? But listen, I was gonna say. Like the Simpsons has select episodes where like they'll age the characters to show certain scenarios, but it's a floating timeline. It's kind of like Dexter's Laboratory is a floating timeline. Like to give you an example of a cartoon where like one episode ends with Dee Dee blowing up the planet, but like the next episode like everyone's back to normal. Like that's what like a cartoon would be. You know what I'm saying? So Samurai Jack is not a floating timeline. Like
you sure?
Yeah. Oh, the fact that you're even asking me that,
I told you I haven't rewatched all the episodes.
No, Wesley, 100%. It's not a floating. It can't be a floating timeline because if Jack meets the Scotsman in an episode of season 1 and they see each other in season 3 and it's like, hey, then it's not a floating timeline. His actions and life experiences have consequence. Like they have affected. Like they've happened. So no, it's not a floating timeline. We can argue like that's just not like that's not only that you're irrefutable. You can say that there's no progression really in terms of like actual like is he getting to his goal? Like you could say like it's been minimal on that and that's done intentionally so because of mandates from the network. That's done intentionally so. So you could say that, and a lot of episodes are self-contained, but it is an ongoing story. So
all
there
right.
you go.
Can I just say that this episode was bad?
Yeah,
you can say that.
Would you say it's fairy tale level or like?
Here's where Wesley goes full Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh my!
You guys are all cones, but I mean, in order for it to be episodic, that means that none of the events. Okay, Young. Thank you, good brother. The events.
Yo, he's GBOing him.
The events have every single effect has an effect. We've seen it.
Kevin,
seen it on Jack.
Kevin, you're right, man. You just leave it at that, like trust me.
So I mean that's just all it is, man. And if you
Speaking of which, I wanted to say. I wanted to say, Wesley, I ran into a friend of mine. I ran into a friend of mine today. Not today. Monday of this last week. And I was telling him I haven't seen him in a few months, and I was like, "Yo, have you been watching Jack?" And he's like, "Nah, I've been rewatching it." And I was telling him, I was like, "Nah, man, you can just watch season 5." And he's like, "Nah, I'm rewatching it. Trust me, bro. Like, what are you talking about?" And I was like, "Yo, man, nothing really happens." And from a guy who's literally he told me he was on season 4 at the time, and he's like, "Bro, a lot of things are continuing, man." And he was at the end of season 4, and he was talking about how the last 3 or 4 episodes we're just leading straight into each other, going into event to event to event, and Jack was learning stuff and all this kind of thing. So I'm just giving you I'm not saying anything.
Stuff now though.
I'm not giving my opinion
on
50
years ago.
Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point? My point is this is not coming from me nor is my opinion attached to any of this. I'm just saying from the perspective of someone who's watching those older seasons as like straight up just watching it like fresh perspective. He was saying nah, it's obviously an ongoing continuous narrative. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, it's episodic.
Those episodes he was referring to was 50 years ago. So
what's your point?
Just because there's plot progression, it doesn't mean it's not episodic.
No, I mean, yeah, a lot of episodes are self-contained.
So
it has its own story, and you could watch it alone and just watch that one singular story.
If majority of the series,
that's fine. But wait, no, that's fine. Just don't say it's a floating timeline. That would be incorrect.
All right, so it's not a floating timeline. It's episodic. It's mostly episodic.
Mostly episodic, not a continuous story, not much progression being made, a lot of characters
consisting
being met,
or containing loosely connected parts or events. All of these events are connected in some way.
Wait, what are you reading the definition of, Kevin?
Episodic. Yeah, that's what it is. They're loosely connected.
I would say Jack is 70% episodic, and in terms of how much progression
that's what I thought the definition was, and by that definition, it is an episodic show. So that is
But I just said that it wasn't a floating timeline. Okay. And I was also saying that. All right. And I was thinking.
those Mexicans.
Listen. I was just saying it's not a floating timeline, and there are a plethora of or a handful of episodes in each season that lead into the next episode.
Yeah, there are. There's some interconnected episodes, definitely.
Yes, there is.
Right, well,
75% episodic, not a floating timeline, not much progression being made. End of story.
We agree. All right. Now, next, let's end this with what do you expect to see next week? And
Andre. The preview looked fire.
I didn't see the preview yet, but
yeah, I don't watch it.
Yeah, it looked good. It might be the most hype episode yet.
Because the last two have been very
kill yourself.
No, I was.
You mean like yeah. It's gonna be an action centric episode.
Yeah,
defensive.
A
little bit. No.
Andre, what do you want to see next week? What do you expect to see?
Let's see. So obviously Jack is going on this type of journey. So I just want to see how he's going to get the sword. It's a physical and spiritual thing to me. And I think Ashi's going to be involved in some way or form of helping him get the sword. I still think that if he's going to enter a spiritual state, he's going to meet the Scotsman, maybe. And maybe the Scotsman is one of those trials he has to face off. Like he has to beat the Scotsman. Finally. I'm not sure has he ever beat the Scotsman? Like just straight up, or has any of the fights ended in all the fights ended in a draw?
I think Jack beat him once.
So I just think it's gonna be one of those where he has to beat the Scotsman.
Pretty sure the record's even.
All right, so if the record's even, then it's gonna be Jack.
Game 7.
Yeah, so
Game 7, man.
I think it's gonna be basically evolved around that. So I'm pretty much all I want to see him get. He's gonna get the sword at the end of the episode.
Would you cry if the episode shows cameos from past characters?
Nobody's crying.
All right, Ibrahima, what do you expect to see? What do you want to see next week?
Why you gotta give?
What do I want to see? Mm-hmm. I mean, I just a lot of what this series does is my cup of tea. So I for the most part, I usually enjoy whatever this show does. So. I mean, call it whatever you want, but like, I'm just saying, like, I am a fan of the director and like what the series does, like whether it's a comedy or like a slower episode or like a slice of life. No, it's not a bias. It's just what he does, whatever it is usually like the type of thing that I would enjoy. So what I'm like, if you let me finish, I would just say, like when you say what I want to see, like, I mean I don't have like a specific desire because like this is one of those shows where like whatever, like it does a lot of different things to appeal to different people, and a lot of those things like appeal to me at the same time. But what do I think is gonna happen? It's gonna be a very action-packed kind of a balls to the wall episode.
Okay, Kevin.
I don't understand the need for disrespect.
Grown men throwing hands.
And grown women throwing hands.
Who watched who saw the preview?
I haven't.
I saw the preview.
I'm about to watch it, I guess.
I don't even remember.
Y'all cheating.
Yeah. Young, what do you want to see next week?
I just want to see some better content.
Okay. Yeah.
Yo, he's going back to my old quotes, right? You can't tell me he's not trolling, but he's used like a bunch of my quotes.
Something to wash the taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, bro.
yo, Young, I got you this Thursday, cuz.
All right.
That's your fault. Anyway.
No, because now we're turning this into like a petty battle when it should just be
the fact that this episodic show did not deliver this week.
Completely episodic.
Man, no progression or impact on anything in the future. Just
none of the characters
floating time.
Nothing changes.
No time. Everything is reset.
Yeah, I just need to get this bad, bitter, snooze-filled episode out of my mind.
All right. What do you think? What do you guys think? All right, I want to ask one more question. What do you think is the plan for Ashi in the next 3 episodes, I guess?
Relationship.
Yo, I get this weird feeling. No joke. I get this weird feeling. I get this weird feeling we're going to open up next episode and they're in bed.
Good night.
I'm not joking. I'm not kidding.
Not the next episode.
It's not a plans for Ashi is just to make him the wife.
All right.
Do what you were doing today, Andre. Basically.
Bosser.
I don't know. What you're
Oh my.
referring to.
Yo,
my.
it should be a student and
I'll
master
go for it.
relationship. It shouldn't be a love relationship.
Hey, but sometimes the
Let
teacher,
the
sometimes the
say
teacher
his
gets some.
piece.
Sometimes the teacher gets some
Know
sloppy
your
toppy
role.
from the
She doesn't,
student.
she doesn't need a
That's-
teacher though.
Very true.
Oh Lord, let the Rock
Wesley.
talk.
Very true.
The Rock
Sometimes
says.
the teacher gets some sloppy
Ibrahim,
toppy.
He's gonna be a teacher, all right. But go ahead.
Regulating.
Ibrahima, The Rock says, "No, you're wrong."
So yo, she was naked
Now-
the whole entire time while
Bossy, shut the
while
fuck up,
fucking,
nigga.
right? Shut the
Alright.
fuck up, you.
Yo, Kevin, Kevin.
As
relax.
Wesley called my name out, so I'm gonna just skip my.
Go ahead.
Shut the
Go
fuck
What
ahead.
did you ask me?
Go ahead. Kevin, just say what you have to say so we can end it.
Yeah, jeez.
You can fight with them all you want.
The Rock says, next episode, there'll be lots of fighting, a lot of moves
Okay.
executed, and one
Nobody-
special move where
One
I
special.
take my 8-meter boot. Turn that
Alright, you
bitch.
built.
I'm done.
I was like, you're
Samurai
building this
Jack
up.
has a lot of similarities to One Piece in terms of
Ibrahim,
how it
shut up when you
resonates with
finish.
certain
Thank you.
audiences in terms of what it does.
I don't think
What
it's
are you trying to
One
say?
Piece, but I don't think it's One Piece. but-
I'll explain that for anyone who cares to know what I mean when we get off air. But
We won't. Yeah, but what were
In
you
that- in that
asking? What were you
it's-
asking? Because I just forgot that you would cut me off.
I was saying, what do you want to see next week, or what do you expect to see next week?
I think they're gonna find sword at the end of the episode, and then the next 2 episodes are gonna beat Aku.
Everybody thinks the whole episode is gonna be them find this, like they're not gonna find
Well,
it.
I mean,
early
because
on.
I saw the preview.
Oh, okay.
yeah, notice the
No,
two
no,
people
no.
who saw the preview said it's grown men throwing hands.
Yeah, girl, man.
All right, we'll see.
But the
I hope.
Rock says a lot of moves will be executed.
Oh, Wesley said, I hope so.
Man. I wanna
Action
see-
junkie?
No. Hype manga? Nah.
Hey, man,
Maybe
the
little
two most best,
content
the two best received episodes from the consensus of you mongoloids has been the two throw hands episodes. So
No,
you know.
actually, that wasn't my. I like everything with Ashi. I want to see Ashi's character develop by the end.
Mhm.
You're
Well, you
like-
know, for the sake of Wesley and Andre, I hope it's just a throw hands.
I never said what was my favorite episode.
Yeah.
Never. I'll put that out there.
Yeah. I mean, the most memorable is definitely
I'm
when
gonna
he
take
killed
this
them for the first time. Like that's definitely like
8 boot.
the most
Turn that
impactful.
The best episode has been is episode 2.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was the most shocking where he killed everybody. You know, it's pretty lit. You know. 4 and
But,
5 were, you know, just slower. 6 was definitely better than both of those, but you know.
Y'all ready for the ratings?
You say so. Yeah. Let's do it, Andre.
he saw how excited he sounds. Look at this ass.
Cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak with mayo.
This episode,
Not 3 hours talking
it's
about.
like a 5.5.
Oh Lord.
All right.
Bossy.
Mediocre, not good, but not awful.
Bossy.
Oh, that's why he was looking. No, wait, Wesley, do you know what he just did
We
there?
gotta end this review.
Wait, Wesley, do you know what he just did there? Do you know what he did there?
Reference you?
No, okay. I'll be. That's why he was excited. Yo, you're so corny, Andre. Yo, okay, so he found this rating system from Pitchfork, which is a music magazine, and he said, and each rating has like a description, and Andre said, I'm gonna start using this for manga, and so he like their descriptions are so funny. It's like 6, not good, but not bad. Like he said, he used 5.5. What was it again? Mediocre, but not awful. The rating system's pretty harsh, but yeah.
Pitchfork, hey man, they give fair ratings, man. Boston,
6 out of 10.
Ibrahima,
9 out of 10.
Kevin.
The Rock said this episode is a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, young.
Let me go last.
You are
Oh
last.
my god.
Oh, do you want me to buy time or something?
Let me just say, I expect more from Gandhi Tartakovsky, and this episode was great. Donkey garbage.
Oh man. Oh man.
Young just gives a rating.
I fell asleep halfway through the episode.
He's lying. He's lying.
My-
Yo, Young's such a troll, bro. I was with you. He said
That talking penis joke was whack.
Young.
No, that's actually really funny. Yo, Young's talking all this talk, man. Yo, he was looking hella hyped when he watched
Aku
it.
saved the episode. You know, he's the GOAT.
I've had it.
That's it.
All right. Well, that's it for this week.
He said a 5 out of 3.
Out of 10.
5 out of 10.